Hello students, this is the recording for chapter 10, question 10.7. The question deals with membership fees for clubs. So in this question we have to do the membership fees account for the year ended 31st December 2004, and the account must be properly balanced or closed off. We're dealing with the Day Students Club, and they have annual membership fees. They give us the following information on the 1st of January 2004. Remember, we're busy with the year ending 31st December 2004. They had 150 members, and during May 2004, 20 members joined, and then during July 2004, another 15 members joined. And the club's constitution says that membership fees are treated as follows. If the members join the club after March but before May, they pay 80% of the annual membership fee. Members who join the club after 1st of June in the current year pay only 60% of the annual membership fee. And if you resign, your membership fees that you've paid are refundable. No membership fees are refundable. This is an extract from the Statement of Financial Position at the end of the prior year. So these will be the balances at the beginning of the year. Membership fees accrued. These are members who wouldn't have paid their membership fees at the end of last year. So at the end of last year, we would have raised this as income and debited the asset, membership fees accrued. This was for 6 members who had joined on the 1st of January 2003. In other words, they were members for the whole of last year. And then there were membership fees received in advance last year. So that means we had membership fees income last year, which only relates to this year. So we would have shown it at the end of last year as a liability, and this year we have to take it into income. And that 400 Rand is for 8 members. Those members also joined before 1st of January 2003, so they would have paid their 2003 membership fees, and they've paid 2004 membership fees in 2003. Then they tell us membership fees of 750 in respect of 2004 were still outstanding on the 31st of December 2004. So that means for the current year, there are members who haven't paid their membership fees, and that amount is 750 Rand that we'll have to raise as an asset and credit income. And then during 2004, membership fees received included 150 Rand in respect of 2003's membership fees, and then 12 members paid their membership fees for 2005. Okay, so that was during the current year. They haven't told us what the total amount of membership fees received was, which means we're going to need to calculate that. Then management decided to write off all membership fees for 2003, which was still outstanding by 2004. So if anyone hadn't paid their membership fees, their membership was cancelled. And during 2004, 4 members resigned from the club. But remember, they don't get refunds. All 4 members paid their membership fees for the year. Okay, so now let's think about what we need to do. The first thing is we need to think about how we're going to work out what the membership fees are that members need to pay. If we look at item number 2, we can put that information in the following format. If a member joined between 1st of January and the 31st of March, then that member has to pay the full membership fee. However, if they joined from the 1st of April to the 31st of May, they only have to pay 80%, and if they join from the 1st of June onwards, they're liable to pay 60% of the membership fee. So that's how their membership fees are structured. Okay, then we are not sure in this question. They don't actually tell us anywhere how much the membership fees actually are. We're going to be able to get that information from item number 3, where they're telling us how much was accrued for at the end of last year, because the first thing we have to do in our membership fees account is to reverse the amounts that we raised last year, the 300 Rand for membership fees that hadn't yet been paid, and the 400 Rand for membership fees received in advance. But if those 6 members were members for the whole of last year, it means we can work out how much the membership fee is per member by taking 300 divided by 6. In the same way, if these 8 members who paid in advance were members for the whole year, then we can work out the membership fee by taking 400 divided by 8. So let's look at what that looks like. So our membership fee calculation, we can take the membership fees accrued, which was 300 Rand for 6 members. It gives us 50 Rand a member. Otherwise, we can also take the membership fees received in advance the end of last year, 400 Rand for 8 members, which gives us the same amount of 50 Rand per member. So in that way, we've worked out the membership fee is 50 Rand per member. So if in a question they don't tell you what the membership fee is, there will be another way of working it out. You need to look for an amount that's been accrued for example, and if you then know the number of members, you divide the amount by the number of members to get the membership fee per member. So in the membership fees account for this year, the first thing we need to do is to reverse the amounts that we raised at the end of last year. The amount that we raised for membership fees receivable last year was 300 Rand. In other words, there were members who owed us 300 Rand at the end of last year. We would therefore have debited membership fees receivable last year, which was an asset which was increasing by 300, and we would have credited membership fees income because it was last year's income. Now this year we are going to reverse that, so we're actually now debiting the membership fees account, taking it out of this year's membership fees because it was last year's membership fees, and we're going to credit the membership fees receivable account and clear that account at the beginning of the year. On the other side, we have membership fees received in advance of 400 Rand. That was the end of last year. Members had paid 400 Rand, which was actually the 2014 membership fees. So when we received this money last year, we would have debited the membership fees account and credited the membership fees received in advance account, which is like a liability, the amount that is actually relating to the following year's income. So on the 1st of January 2004, we reversed that by debiting the membership fees received in advance account and crediting the membership fees account, bringing that into income for the current year. The next thing we're going to do is we're now going to look for any transactions that happened during the year. So what you will see in this question is that we had those membership fees accrued of 300 Rand the end of last year, members who owed us money. During the current year, they don't tell us the total amount of money received. We obviously need to work that out. But they tell us that 150 Rand was received for the amounts that were owing at the end of 2003. And we will deal with the membership fees received in advance later on. So you should already see there that it means that not all the money that was owed at the end of last year actually got paid. They also tell us that they decided to write off all membership fees for 2003, which was still outstanding by the end of December 2004, and to cancel the membership of those people. So in other words, the membership fee income that we expected has not actually arisen. These members didn't pay, their membership is cancelled. So of the 300, only 150 was paid, so the remaining 150 is going to be a credit loss, membership fees written off. So in our membership fees account, we are going to be writing off the membership fees by debiting membership fees written off. You can also debit bad debts or debit credit losses, doesn't really matter. So this account is an expense, it's the membership fees that are written off. And we are going to credit the membership fees account with 150. Remember, the reason for that is because the 150 appears on the debit side, so that 150 is included in this 300. So now of that 300, 150 Rand is now being written off. So we're crediting the membership fees account and debiting the expense membership fees written off. Then, as you can see, we have a question mark next to the receipts from the bank account. We know that we will debit bank and credit membership fees with the amount of money received for the year, but we don't know how much that is. In this question, again, that will be the balancing amount. So the next thing we can do in the question is we can now work out what are the actual membership fees that we earned for the period. We use the information that they gave us here. We don't have to worry about members who resigned, because remember they've said that there is no refund for members who resigned. So the membership fees earned for the year ended December 2004, we had 150 members at the 1st of January who owed 50 Rand each. Remember, that's our membership fee, giving us 7,500 Rand income. We had 20 members who joined in May. That means they only had to pay 80% of the membership fee. So that means they owed 40 Rand each. 20 times 40 gives you 800 Rand membership fee income. And then in July, we had 15 members who joined. They only have to pay 60% of the membership fee. That means they pay 30 Rand each. 30 times 15 gives you 450 Rand. The total then is 8,750, which is the membership fee income earned for the year. So the membership fee income account is going to be debited because we're clearing what would have been the credit balance on this account to the income and expenditure account. So we're taking the income earned for the period and we're taking it out of the membership fees account and crediting the income and expenditure account. Then the next bit of information we can do is now to raise the accruals at the end of this year. They tell us there was 750 Rand in respect of membership fees that hadn't been paid. So these are membership fees receivable at the end of 2004. So in our membership fees account, we will credit membership fees because these amounts are membership fee income for this year, and we'll debit membership fees receivable, which is an asset, the amount of membership fees owing at the end of the year. We can also then see that there were 12 members who paid membership fees in advance in respect of 2005. So we can show that as membership fee received in advance in our membership account. So in our membership fee account, we're going to take this 600 Rand out of the account because this will be included in the bank amount here. We don't know the amount, but 600 Rand included there would have been from members who paid in advance. So we take that 600 Rand, we debit the membership fees account, and we're going to credit membership fees received in advance, which is your liability. So it's 50 Rand for 12 members is 600 Rand for membership fees received in advance. Then to finish off your account, you can now balance it because we've got all the entries on the credit side coming to 9,650. Sorry, the debit side rather, and we take that across to the credit side, and the balancing amount is then the bank amount of 8,350. So again, in this question, we had to work back to the bank amount. So again, it's like a puzzle where you've got to fit the pieces together. You always start off with reversing the accruals from the prior year. The membership fees receivable, that 300 Rand was membership fee income for last year, but last year we showed it as income. This year, we reduced the membership fees account because 150 Rand of that was actually received during this year and is included in this 8,350 Rand, and the other 150 Rand here was written off. So those two amounts together make up this 300 Rand, which was the membership fees receivable at the end of last year, which have now either been settled or written off. This year also there was 400 Rand that had been paid last year, which we then showed as income for this year. So we always start off with those amounts. Then you need to look for what is the amount of actual receipts for the year. Sometimes they give you the number, other times you have to work backwards to get it. You also need to check if there are any membership fees written off, and we already saw that membership fee written off gets credited because of the fact that we debited the membership fees to the membership fees account. Also on the credit side of the membership fees account, we then raise the income for this year that hasn't yet been paid. So those are the debtors They owe us money the end of this year. We credit income and we debit an asset, membership fees receivable, which will be shown with current assets on your statement of financial position. On the debit side of the membership fees account, we take the membership fee income earned for the period. This is going to go onto your statement of profit and loss. That's the actual income earned for the period, 8,750 Rand. And this 600 Rand is the liability for membership fees received in advance. That membership fees received in advance account will have a credit balance and will be shown with current liabilities on the statement of financial position at the end of the year. I'm showing all of this to you again in detail because it's important that you understand all of the elements that can go into the membership fees account, so that if one amount is missing, you know how to work back to get to that amount. That is the end of this question.